Welcome to Oklahoma City and the USL Championship on a Sunday afternoon. Historic Taft Stadium. Fans still filing in. Oklahoma City and Indy 11 matching up in a game with major Central Division playoff implications. Energy FC would like to thank SSM Health St. Anthony for being the official healthcare partner and Team Docs for the Energy FC. For 121 years, SSM Health St. Anthony has been ready to help and heal patients across OKC. Mike Watts and Ricky Lopez-Espin joining you for the call here tonight. The Central Division, well, it's messy to say the least. Louisville and Birmingham have seemingly pulled away from the playoff line, but Memphis, OKC, Atlanta, Indy, all within 3 points.
And it's just so competitive. If I'm the OKC Energy, I am at home. I need to win my home games. And if I'm Indy 11, you're only 2 points back. So it's a huge opportunity to steal 3 points away from home, and I'm expecting a really good game.
They could move level on points with Memphis 901 FC with a victory today. Goal difference and other tiebreakers would still have them in 5th for the moment. Let's talk about some players to watch in this one. For Indy 11, look at Arteaga. The Venezuelan international has had no problem scoring this year.
And he's a physical number 9. For his size, he has great vision and a great touch. He likes to combine with the players around him, and we know he can score with 7 goals on the year. And if I'm an Indy 11 fan, I want this man in and around the box. I need this man to get service. You know he's going to be hungry to get on the score sheet, so look for him to be a focal point in this Indy 11 attack today. 9
goal contributions from just under 1,800 minutes for the Indy 11 frontman. Meanwhile, for OKC, tonight's player to watch is brought to you by Loves, and sometimes we need to give a little love to the defenders too, like Connor Donovan.
And exactly, Connor Donovan, he is one of the most underrated defenders in the league for me. He is such a selfless leader in the squad. He is tough in the tackle, but really what impresses me the most with him is his composure and ability to play out of the back and how comfortable he is with the ball at his feet. He needs to step up and have a big game to have a shutout for the squad to get a big 3 points for this OKC Energy team.
And he has played every single minute so far this year. He'll be ready to go from the jump here this afternoon in Oklahoma City. This is the battle at the playoff line. 3 critical points, perhaps pivotal as we enter the final month of the regular season. OKC and Indy. Lineups kickoff coming up from Taft.
Goals are something we outline for ourselves, and oftentimes they can be pretty lofty. When things begin to line up the way we think they should, we appreciate those who helped us along the way. The help you get with commercial banking from FFB. Our experts are ready to partner with you to help you manage cash flow, oversee accounts through online banking, and help you secure a business line of credit. Because we know you've got better things to do, like grow your business. FFB. We go where you go.
You deserve something sweet, like Brahms' new Fancy Sundaes. The sticky bun has the perfect hint of cinnamon, topped with smooth, hot caramel and pecans. There's the undeniably delicious cocoa banana ice cream covered in hot fudge and slices of banana. And who could resist 2 scoops of white chocolate strawberry tart filled with pound cake and more strawberries? Or French chocolate macaroon with marshmallow atop Brahms' freshly baked macaroon cookies. Try one or all 4 at Brahms, because you deserve it.
I'd always wanted to get braces, always considered it, thought about it. You know, how long is this gonna take? Am I too old to do this? What am I gonna look like with braces on? With payment options and everything else, nothing's hindering me now, I just need to go ahead and do it. The staff, for one, is awesome. The doctor's great. I know I had friends growing up saying, oh, it hurts. I didn't have that experience. I can't wait to see my teeth without being masked by wires, right? Hindsight, I would have done it again 100 times over.
Welcome back, everybody. Tonight's match is presented by SSM Health St. Anthony's, and it's Oklahoma City at Taft Stadium trying to defend their home turf in the first of a twin bill over the next 4 days against Indy 11. Mike Watts, Ricky Lopez-Espin back with you. Let's take a look at the starting lineups, and they're brought to you by First Fidelity Bank.
And one thing to keep an eye out is the relationship between Gordon Weil and Arteaga. Those two are the danger men. Arteaga's going to play a little bit higher, so look for Gordon Weil to play underneath and making runs in behind, and as well with those middle three to have the balance of the squad going forward and when to know to step.
Segrist, Doyle, and Buckmaster move into the 11 for Indy from their last time out, a 1-0 loss at Memphis. For OKC, only one change. Daniels drops out, Arun Basulovic in.
And you're looking at Bijev. He is your player. He is your special player. With 11 goals on the year, you need this man to get going early. He needs to be full of confidence, and look at that relationship between him and Chavez going to have a big match tonight.
And there is Villian Bijev. He has been a monster so far this year, finding his goal-scoring form. And for OKC, if they're to make a playoff run, they're currently right on the cusp. Bijev's going to be massive. Indy 11 will stay here in Oklahoma City, make it their home for 4 days. They'll play this afternoon, then play again on Wednesday night. The game on Wednesday is actually a makeup from the game on July the 10th, postponed shortly after halftime due to a lighting issue. OKC will be in green, Indy in white. And we're underway. Happy Sunday afternoon in the championship. Indy 11 and Oklahoma City Energy. Kofi pops it up. This ball may never touch the ground. This will get out. Tonight's injury report is brought to you by SSM Health St. Anthony's. Ein remains out for Oklahoma City, so they've got Howard as the backup goalkeeper. A.J. Cochran, Carl Howarth, and Neville Hackshaw out tonight for Indy. And Hackshaw is the one that hurts for sure.
And it's going to take a really big effort here from Tim or Doyle and we met in this back line. They have to be organized, they have to be compact, and they have to have a lot of communication to figure out where Bijev is throughout this match.
Forward by Osmond, the former Indy 11 player. 4th round pick in Minnesota a few years ago. And stepped Basulovic, but still Indy. If you're OKC, you really have to feel like the next 4 days are going to decide whether or not you're a team that's expected to make the playoffs or a team that's going to have to chase for the final month of the season.
And these games at home are just so massive. Playoffs are just around the corner, and the thing you need to do is win your home matches, and you have 2 here. So you know Coach Friedman is getting into his guys to have them motivated and to get 6 points in these next couple days.
Well, back by Chavez, Basulovic. Bijev wanted this played wide. Flicked away a bit awkwardly, but got the job done. Farr's going to have to play this, make that Bobby Edwards, who stepped in rather for Jordan Farr. One of the 4 Indy 11 changes for Edwards. This is his 5th start of the season. Came back to Cochran. Let's take a look at tonight's keys to the game. They're brought to you by OKC Volkswagen. And for OKC, we've already touched on a bit. Must win at home. Meanwhile, for Indy, you want to see Arteaga get involved.
And he is the number 9 for a reason. You're paid to score goals, and that's what he needs to do. So with that, you want players around him to feed him the ball, get his confidence high, and you want this man to be dangerous tonight.
When you watch Indy, is it a case of Arteaga being best in certain situations on the field, better running toward goal, or is this any touch is a good touch?
Well, first of all, you want him in and around the box, right? That's where you make your money as a number 9. But he's just so good with the ball at his feet. He's physical. He has the vision to be able to bring players in. So look for the likes of Law, Gordon Wild making runs behind him once he gets the ball.
And that's why Ricky's paying for dinner. He knows how to make those runs in and around the box. Basulovic. This is Batista. 9th appearance as part of that mid-season revamp for Lee Veidman and OKC. Seen their results stabilize. Bijev lost his footing and maybe bailed out a bit. Gordon Wild was running the other way.
You do not want to lose a ball in this situation to this Indy 11 team, especially like a player like Gordon Wild, who's creative and he likes to be direct in his movement. We'll take a look at it here. It's risky, but in the end, it is a foul.
And he remains down, and the way his head hit the ground caused the referee to call over the athletic trainer at this stage. Simply not a player you can afford to lose. Lee Veidman and Oklahoma City. There hasn't been a lot of goal scoring acumen in this roster, but Bijev has been the exception.
And he is your big-time player. He is your superstar, and this is not something you want to see 5 minutes into the match if you're Coach Friedman. Hopefully he's okay and able to keep going. He needs to have a big day today.
He's back up and trotting off. Ilian Bijev, 16 goals over a couple of years at Timbers too, and then went into Sacramento. Spent 4 years there and was so dynamic. Now in Oklahoma City, the best goal-scoring season of his career. He waits with the 4th official to get back in here on the restart. Bijev walks back on and into position on the left-hand flank.
And one thing to keep an eye on with Bijev, he's a player who likes to drift. He likes to come on this left-hand side, on that right-hand side, and that is a nightmare for defenders, especially like a player that has so much confidence at the moment like him. You want to be able to keep an eye on him. So if you're Trimmer, Doyle, and we met, you need to keep an eye and figure out where Bijev is at all times.
Timmer and Ouimet have been pretty regular in the lineup for Liam Doyle. This is start number 1 since coming into the team. Indy's made a bunch of changes. Manu Ledesma, the former league MVP, got signed. He's not available tonight, but Kevin Partida is. Was so good at Reno a couple of years ago. Turned over to Wild. Arteaga sort of starting and stopping his run. There's never much of a flow to that.
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see that relationship because those two players, they can score. Wild with 3 goals on the year, Arteaga with 7. You need to get them on the same page. When you have defenders like Donovan, Osmond, Batista, Ellis Hayden in that back, you want to challenge them. You want to put them under pressure. So those two need to figure it out to keep going in this match.
Kofi's trying to walk away from this. He's well aware what he did. He's checked on Bijev. As far as diagonals go, it was a good idea. It didn't quite work out, however. Cochran. Batista. Actually, a fair amount of action in the championship today. Not very often on a Sunday you see 4 matches on the docket. Birmingham and Charlotte. Big matchup that affects both the Atlantic and the Central. Sacramento and Galaxy are underway. Monarchs and Red Bulls are playing a game tonight that will in no way impact the playoff race. Gutjahr starts to step in. It's really compact and very much in shape right now from Indy.
Yeah, they're making it very difficult for this OKC team to find any pockets, any places to exploit. But if you're OKC Energy, that's fine. You do not want to force anything. It's too early to give bad turnovers to this Indy 11 squad.
And here comes We Met. Rushan Kofi's been all over the ball early. Kofi again, time in New England. Played for Tommy Sohn in Vancouver. He's now the manager at Birmingham. Some points were dropped in the division yesterday. Louisville and Memphis finished 1 goal apiece. Certainly changes the dynamic a little bit. Gave Birmingham a chance to close the gap for the top seed in the Central. Kept Memphis from fully taking advantage. Chance to get some points on the board before the other teams around them featured today. Taking on Oklahoma City and Basulovic.
And if I'm Coach Wiedemann, it's just a little bit too stagnant in this front line for this OKC Energy squad. You see Basulovic pick up his head, have no one running in behind. That's when you want the likes of Chavez coming in, whether it's Bijev making the running behind. You want to have interchange movement to break down this Indy 11 team who's been so dynamic and so tight 12 minutes into this match.
If you're Chavez, is that trying to jump into the pocket, or you speak about in behind? Is that, you can even see Lee Wiedemann gesturing forward to try and get this ball in behind and just stretch it a little bit.
When you have a player who's running in behind, that creates space in front of that back line. So whether it's Chavez or Bijev, Chavez is more of a player who likes the ball to his feet, so look for him to drop in more, and that makes a decision for Doyle or Timmer. Do they go with him or do they stay? And if they stay with him, there's space in behind. But if they go with him, there's a pocket in front. So it's really, it's going to be very interesting to see the movement between Bijev and Chavez up there.
This is a game being played actually between 2 interim head coaches. John Pasquarello relieved by Oklahoma City. Martin Rennie stepping away from the franchise for Indy 11 mid-season. So it's Max Rogers, who joined as an assistant coach on April the 22nd. It's elevated to the top job.
Rather quickly.
He's got a good apprenticeship under Anthony Pulis and Steve Tritchu in St. Louis, among other stops. Chance to swing this ball in front. Tap down. Bijev knew he could have done more with that. And Edwards gratefully leaps out on top of it.
And it's a good move here from the OKC Energy. Unlucky enough for Bijev not to get a clean touch. But if you're in the 11, you have to be able to organize this and know where he is. You cannot have him that open on top of your 6. You can see how frustrated he is to not pull up and trouble Cochran there. Edwards, sorry.
And We Met seem to have pretty touch-tight effort there, but when you've got Chavez playing that ball from the opposite side and you're not fronting him for Bijev, he's sort of coming across the face of goal, and you can really get after it with Edwards there.
And when you have a player that comes off that back line and someone making the run to behind, it's just so hard for Vimet and Doyle to communicate so quickly because it happens so fast. So it's a really big task for those 3 as they play a back 3 to have communication throughout this match.
Adjusted the shin guards up well enough, and this is a bit too heavy-handed from Hiroki Kurimoto. It'll stay with Indy 11. Energy FC would like to thank SSM Health St. Anthony for being the official healthcare partner, and Team Docs for the Energy FC for 121 years. SSM Health St. Anthony has been ready to help and heal patients across OKC. Edwards is out. Slipping up on the end line, ball lobbed across. Bijev won't get there. Ouimet got the first header away. Bijev steps onto his left. He's still looking. Basulovic rolls across. Ball tapped in front towards Chavez. And this will be a corner for Oklahoma City after a really chaotic moment. And an injured player back behind is Reese Buckmaster.
Taking a look at it here, you just see how opportunistic Chavez is. And just the composure, keep his head up, find a player. Unlucky enough, it doesn't come out. Really well defended there by Ouimet. But if you're OKC Energy, you want to get this on target. You want to get a shot and put Edwards under some duress.
And meanwhile, an injury here for Indy. They're trying to stretch out that left leg a little bit. The athletic trainer hard at work. You can see a real grimace there. It's Buckmaster leaning up here. Brought into Memphis a couple of years ago. Brian Mazanoff, the coach at Indiana, was close with the coaching staff in Memphis. Sort of opened the door for the former second-round pick at Red Bull. When he entered the Memphis fray, part of the mentality was they were trying to grab 5-6 Red Bull guys and bring that pressing mentality. That lasted for about a year because Memphis also has an interim coach. And you can already see Nick Moon is preparing to come in. Moon started last game, and you really hate to see Reese Buckmaster coming off in such duress at this point. He's not putting any weight on his right leg.
Yeah, it's something you don't want to see, and hopefully he's okay. Looks like he's in a big amount of pain.
Well, this is not the way Indy wanted to make a change at this stage. They're going to carry Buckmaster back to the dressing room. Substitutions are brought to you by SSM Health St. Anthony. This is Moon trotting into the middle of your picture now. And a Little Caesars corner kick for Oklahoma City after a really chaotic moment in play before the injury.
Leading the match is number 19, Reese Buckmaster. Replacing him is number 17, Nick Moon.
Basulovic, this pops to the backside, flicked forward by Bijev and over the line. Well, first thought is a lot of people talk about Buckmaster's ability to help in the press, and there's a lot of value he brings, but Nick Moon is an absolute firecracker up and down those channels. He's going to make life difficult.
And he's a player I know personally as well. Forgot his shin guards. But you touched on it. He has such a motor to come up and down on this right-hand side, and he has the ability to pick a pass and to score goals. So look for him to have a good impact, helping in the press and coming back and helping defensive. So he needs to have a big game and get involved.
Bijev dips through. When you look at Nick Moon, just from the physical traits perspective, it's staggering that he had to trial at Lansing to get into the pro game in the first place.
And he took his chance, and he and he ran with it. He was tremendous in that season. He's been such a good piece for this Indy 11 squad. And he's a player that has a tremendous amount of upside going forward.
25-year-old native of Wisconsin. Well, that's the little shoulder dip and pirouette forward that Oklahoma City was looking for, but it's walked back by Liam Doyle. Saw a couple teams get worse at the roster freeze, but it's neither of these teams. Colorado Springs shipping off arguably their second best player, Michi Galina, to LAFC, and then you've got teams like Indy 11 going out and grabbing a former league MVP. Try and turn things around here late, grab a playoff spot, and according to Max Rogers, more than that. Header back, makes Cochran work a bit, but he won't sweat. If you're Indy, though, you have to think, bring in a handful of players, increases competition. Sure, there are guys who want to keep their spots, but it likely adds a little bit of energy to the group in the tail end of the season, something to keep an eye on in the Central.
Of course, when you bring quality into the locker room, first of all, it brings the quality higher. Your team gets so much better with players like Ledesma, who has been so successful in this league. But it also brings out the best of each player. You do not want to lose your spot. You want to keep being competitive, and you want to prove day in and day out in training that you deserve to be on in the first 11.
Kofi got knocked to the ground.
And he just does well to draw a foul in a dangerous area, and if you're Ward, that's not something you do not want to do. He's going into 3 of your players, so there's no need to stick a silly foot in there and give this Indy 11 squad a dangerous set piece.
For Charlie Ward, perhaps you're trying to get out in front of it, but you've conceded quite the set piece. That's Law and Wild. Probably a bit difficult to test the goalkeeper from here, but you can create a real chaotic moment. Wild flicks this forward, ball ricochets around. Appeal for a handball from a few Indy 11 players, but the referee never gave it all that much mind.
And it's a good ball in the end from Wild.
Oy vey. Take a look at the outstretched right hand atop the 6-yard box. Is that Donovan?
It looks like it, but I think a little harsh to give a PK at this point in time. But again, if you're OKC, you have to be cognitive. You cannot give this Indy 11 squad any dead ball set pieces in and around your box, because you have players like Wild who can put a ball in on a dime.
We're in the 23rd minute, half of a half, which in this instance is actually an 8th. Back-to-back home games for Oklahoma City against Indy 11. 2 teams right at the playoff line. Game postponed midway through the contest back on July the 10th. Required 2 games to be played here in the 4-game series for the season, so they've decided to play them twice in 4 days' time. Bijev has taken a real beating in this game. He may have a hole or 2 in his cleat as well at this point.
And when the team sheets came out, you know Indy 11 circled his name to give him a hard time and not get him in any groove. You see here, he skips away from a couple players, but then it's just a late challenge here from Seacrest, getting on the top of his foot, and you know that's painful. Something you do not want to do, and pick up a silly yellow 24 minutes in as that outside back. So he has to be very disciplined going forward in this match.
4th yellow in 23 games for Segrist, who was acquired by Inter Miami for some Garber bucks and a 3rd-round pick from New York Red Bulls, and then subsequently loaned out to Indy 11. navigating Donovan. You can see he's orchestrating, trying to get the switch over here because of the numerical advantage that's growing, but it's not fast enough.
When you have a team that's sitting in and making it so difficult.
Oh, that's brilliant.
It's a great ball.
Chavez looking for support. Bijev back heels. There's nobody there.
It's a little bit too lackadaisical and too casual from Bijev at the top of the box. You'd like him to see, you'd want him to see to take a shot on goal or have a little bit of combination. Instead, it breaks down with a silly back heel that's not needed.
Is that something where you think you hear somebody behind you where there's a little shout, little whistle? Chance to lob this across. It's not a bad back post cross, but nobody's home.
And time again, we see this OKC energy getting into their attacking third, but just it breaks down. There's not that composure. That's not that efficiency to find out that final pass or put a shot on target. If you're Coach Friedman, you're going to get into your boys to have that little bit more quality in that final third.
Real hand-dipped ice cream, thick milkshakes, old-fashioned banana splits, and sundaes all made with farm-fresh milk. Brahms is proud to be a part of your family's tradition. Brahms Farm Fresh for over 50 years, proud partner of OKC Energy FC. Indy 11 win puts them right back into the playoff position. Top four in the Central will go. That's a ball we've seen played probably 5-6 times already, that diagonal into the final third for Chavez.
And you have to think that is something that Coach Friedman told his boys to look out for. It doesn't come off on that instance, but they're getting it behind like that. We saw Basulovic hit a dime of a pass a couple minutes early, and Batista has the vision to do it. But again, this Indy 11 squad has to be organized and has to be aware that they've tried this pass around 3-4 times.
Moon came on as a substitute for the injured Buckmaster earlier in the game. Law, Kofi. Moon, Wade serves. Flicked away, Basulovic chasing, held off by Segrist, played out by Timmer. Ellis Hayden pushing this back.
And you can see what Arteaga brings. He's a big physical presence. He does well to draw a free kick. A little cheeky, feels the pressure and goes down and to win a dangerous free kick for a squad.
Set piece to the back post. All due respect to any player that's not Neville Hackshaw. But any player that's not Neville Hackshaw is a different kind of target on a set piece than Indy's accustomed to.
When you have a player like Gordon Wild who can hit a ball on a dime with that brilliant left foot, it's such a weapon to have, and any dead ball opportunity inside just this half is a goal-scoring chance.
There he is again, came up through the Mines Academy and then into the U.S. collegiate system. Wild, flick onto the back post. Bobbled still, ricochets back the other way. Law rips that through the penalty area and pops out the other side. Chavez swept it forward, still now for Wild. Indy has started to find themselves a bit more of late, but that's cheaply given back by Doyle. Okay. Ellis Hayden. Get that wrong, and your goalkeeper's not a big fan, but for now, this looks promising for Oklahoma City. Chavez slipped ahead. Flag is down. Chavez scores! A cheeky play on one end leads to Bijev's picture-perfect pass ahead. And a phenomenal Chavez finish. Half an hour gone, OKC leads.
And it's a tremendous goal from this OKC squad. It just starts with the cheekiness of Ellis Hayden to not only throw us off, but the whole stadium off. But then it's all about Bijev to have the awareness and this timing between him and Chavez. Then that's a goal scorer's finish right there. Casual, cool, calm, collected to score this goal. And it's a huge goal for this OKC energy. We touched on it earlier. That relationship between Chavez and Bijev is so important, and they were on the same page there. That timing was perfect.
And the 46, all the supporters groups, plenty happy to see Oklahoma City jump on the board first. That goal brought to you by Loves. Chavez in the 30th minute. That's his 5th of the last 2 seasons over 36 games. You think about what he can do when he's playing at his absolute best. He had 10 for Miami in 2017 before they came to the championship. He scored a dozen for Fresno in 2019. If he can find that scoring touch and provide a second option alongside Bijev, if those two can work together in concert, Oklahoma City could not only make the postseason, they could make things a little frightening for whoever they see out of the Atlantic.
And you said it just right. When you have a player like Bijev who is in form, and to add a striker who we know can score goals, it's a scary thing, and it's something that Coach Friedman would love to see just about now with the playoffs around the corner.
Oklahoma City playing their 26th game today. Means they'll have precious few number of chances to grab points from here. Vasiljevic kept it going. Chavez with a blast. That's away by Edwards. There's some intent in Jaime Chavez today.
And again, it comes from the composure and the vision of Bijev to find Vasiljevic in that pocket. And Vasiljevic has been very active, but then it's just pure class here for Vasiljevic to put this ball through the legs of Doyle. And then what about that turn from Chavez? In the end, it's a really good save there from Edwards to keep this game 1-0. But OKC Energy is getting into this game. You can see Vasiljevic getting on the ball more. Bijev is having an impact. And of course, Chavez. When you have a striker that is confident, it's a scary thing.
Skipped up on Chavez. Skied across to the other end, and Bijev couldn't quite corral that. Instead, Moon.
And it's going to be very interesting to see how this Indy 11 team reacts to this goal. You would want them to be a little bit more direct, a little bit more intense with their possession, move the ball quicker, move this OKC side from left to right, and find gaps to play in between. So you want Law to get on the ball more. You want Wild. Arteaga has been very, very quiet in this first half. You need to get him more of the ball to put this OKC team under some pressure.
Hold up play from Chavez, not once but twice. And a stoppage here and a hydration break in Oklahoma City. Some other scores around the league. Christian Fuchs scored for Charlotte in the 16th minute, but Birmingham has responded with 2 goals. Nico Brett and Eli Cronali. They now lead with 10 minutes to go, and Charlotte's win streak is suddenly in jeopardy. And Galaxy and Sacramento are matching up. They are, as it stands, 1-0 LA. LA would be just 1 point out of the playoffs, and Sacramento would miss arguably their best chance to get back into the mix. Conversely here, Oklahoma City grabbing the advantage. First Fidelity Bank is proud to be an OKC Energy FC founding sponsor. Our 20 OKC Metro locations make banking convenient for you, especially when combined with our free worldwide ATMs, mobile banking, and mobile deposit. First Fidelity Bank, we go where you go. Visit www.ffb.com. Chavez is the beneficiary of a wonderful start. This nearly had chalk on it from one end, and then Ellis Hayden off to the races. It takes 2 passes.
And you can see Bijev finds his space in front of that back line, but then it's just about this timing between him and Chavez. It's a brilliant run from Chavez to wait, and have the audacity from Bijev to just roll that ball into him, and then there's nothing you can say about that finish. Just cool, calm, collected, cheeky little finish to put that in this far post. It's a great goal from this OKC Energy side.
Well, for Chavez, your overjoyed second goal of the year. They haven't come easy. Conversely, if you're Indy, I have to imagine that leaves a coach fuming that a slow motion counter like that undoes you in a match of this magnitude.
Well, something that you always work on in training is your organization while you're pressing. And there is no organization. There's just gaps all over the field. We see Bijev has an acre of space in that middle of the park, and it's just a simple through ball and a simple run from Chavez. So you know Coach Rogers is not going to be happy with his squad in that defensive play.
Chavez with a couple taps. This, however, got out over the line. Bijev nearly able to rip that in, and again, he just hasn't quite physically been right today. He's gotten a couple steps on his shoes, but despite having the assist and a few really good moments, he's been down more than he'd like. Sulovic alongside of Bijev.
And you can see in this picture right now that this Indy 11 squad is just so spread out. There's 15, 20 yards between each line. And that's what makes it so easy for this OKC squad to play through this Indy 11 team. You can see Basulovic has a 10-yard radius around him right now. And that's something you cannot have if you're this Indy 11.
When he was at Red Bull a few years ago, he was among the leading passers in the league, Basulovic. Oh, what a dicing ball. But it's got a little too much strength. Score a great deal with the Brahms Family 4-pack. For only $49, you'll get 4 match tickets, 2 buy one, get one free Brahms combo vouchers, and 4 Energy FC hats. Visit energyfc.com/Brahms to pick up your Brahms Family 4-pack. Ricky's over here with eyes like dinner plates staring at me while I'm talking about this.
Sounds good.
That's good for me. OKC with a win. Those 10 draws could end up being an issue down the line, but they'd be in playoff position, firmly so, going into their final 6 games of the regular season. Mike Watts, Ricky Lopez-Espin in Oklahoma City this afternoon. One of 3 games with significant playoff implications in the league today. Techland wins, ready to roll. Moon can bring individual brilliance. He's working on it right now. Speared away from the penalty spot. Kept alive by Timmer. Arteaga pulling that out. Arteaga turns. Arteaga wins a free kick. Well, he pays a price, but finally is able to provide an impetus to change the momentum here for Indy.
And again, it's another dangerous dead ball opportunity for this Indy 11 team with players like Gordon Wild on the ball. I say it time and time again, with the quality that he has in that left foot, look for a dangerous ball to trouble Cochran. If you're Ward, you cannot stick your foot in there again and be a little bit too eager to give this team a free kick.
Step over Law. It's Wild off the outside of the netting. And a goal kick to come.
And good things happen when you put the ball in dangerous situations. I think OKC is lucky that ball does not creep into that near post. They have to be more disciplined. They have to be more compact defensively and cannot give this Indy 11 squad any look at their goal, whether it's a free kick from 30 yards, because we can see how dangerous this Indy 11 squad is.
Bijev, ball bounced kindly to him. Vasilovic won't get there, and Edwards sprinting by. Energy FC would like to thank SSM Health St. Anthony for being the official healthcare partner and team doctors for the Energy FC. For 121 years, SSM Health St. Anthony has been ready to help and heal patients across OKC. Here's Wee Matt, who always travels well for a road trip. Scooped up here and laid off. That was Ward creating. We should have plenty of stoppage time, large in part due to the injury to Reese Buckmaster. It was carried off on the shoulders of the athletic trainer, it appeared, and an assistant coach. Chavez.
And again, you can see there's just so much space in front of that back line of this Indy 11 squad. Chavez just pops off, and he has space to turn, to bring a ball down. You know, Coach Rogers is not going to be happy with this team and how easy they're making it for this OKC squad to play through them.
Play allowed to continue through here. Five additional minutes here of stoppage time. Extra time in the first half, brought to you by SSM Health St. Anthony. SSM Health St. Anthony is ready for you, for the game, for the team, for the community, at a moment's notice, without hesitation. We're ready, and we're proud to be the Energy FC healthcare partner. This will come back to Bobby Edwards, who I think may have the funniest Twitter in the USL Championship. If he doesn't, it's close, and it's because Ricky already retired. But it was at the beginning of this month of September that he added levity to the day of most every Indy 11 fan by tweeting, "My teammate had his stuff searched at TSA, and you know what they pulled out of his bag? A can of beans. This guy packed himself a can of beans. I can't make this stuff up." It was a guessing game. Who could have packed beans in their bag? He created a poll. I assumed it was Ioze. I was wrong. We'll give and go here. The answer was Carl Ouimet. Way to just blow up your defender's spot. Anywho, there's a yellow card that's popped up here. They'll go against Charlie Ward, or rather Ward getting hacked here.
You can just see it's a really professional foul here from Gutierrez. He gets beat in the middle of the field and has nothing he can do. He just pulls the jersey of Ward to pick up a yellow.
That's Gutierrez picking up his third yellow in 21 games. Accumulation will not be an issue for him this year. Bobby Edwards finished this honestly fascinating couple of hours by saying, on an unrelated note, anybody have a can opener? Kofi. Moon. Moon popped up and realized he did indeed win a corner.
And since coming on, Nick Moon has been very active. He's just so explosive on this right-hand side, and he has the quality to put in service. So you need to get him the ball more and have him ask questions of this OKC back line.
Well, whipped across, and that's caught by Cochran. This is as direct as you get. He's leading Bijev, and Edwards whiffs, but Bijev won't get there either. Anyone got a can opener?
Edwards is very lucky that this ball runs out of play. That is, that's a costly mistake if Bijev gets on the end of that. You can see the sigh of relief for the 11 goalkeeper.
He's sort of gesturing everything's under control. Perhaps the way the ball was bouncing, he felt pretty comfortable it was going to make it over the line, but still another minute to take us to halftime. Kofi got away from Basulovic, who's still a little bit hung up. Kept away from Wild. Forward for Law. Corner, Indy 11. How many times yesterday in the league did we see goals in the final or first fives? Indy could grab a goal here, and all of a sudden what's been a up and down half would be on level terms. Wild. Floated back. Cochran collects on the Goudiar service. Will not send a 90-yard ball this time.
I think he's trying to pick up an assist.
Never blame a goalkeeper for going for an assist. And there's the halftime whistle. Well, for Indy, at times when they were in a block, really tough to break down. When they stretched out and tried to press, a little bit of trouble for OKC. They take advantage of a really gappy opportunity from one end of the field to the other, and Chavez grabs a goal he'd so desperately gotten after.
And you know he wants to get on the score sheet again. You can see he's fiery, he's energetic, he's motivated. So I'm expecting him to have a good impact on the second half. But if I'm in the 11, it needs to be better defensively, it needs to be better offensively. Offensively, it's too casual, it's too slow. You need to move the ball faster. Defensively, you need to become tight. You were doing that really well in the first 20 minutes. But that goal, it's, you know, Coach Rogers is not going to be happy with how easy it was for this OKC energy to just dribble by you, play by you, way too easy. So I'm expecting a really hard-fought match in the second half coming up.
All right, so into the locker room here at halftime from the opening whistle. Two sides really trying to get after 3 points. It's, of course, still a Sunday afternoon, and took a little while to get the engines revving, but when they did, high speed, Chavez, the length of the field, and OKC, a 1-0 lead at halftime.
Real commitment doesn't stumble. It doesn't hesitate. It's ready at a moment's notice. On the sidelines and in the stands. It leans in and gets loud. We're ready for you, for our club, for our city, for whatever comes next. We're SSM Health St. Anthony, and we're proud to be the official healthcare partners of the OKC Energy FC.
Drippy, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and a giddy up. Secure the bag, yeah, I get the bus. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. You see the drippy, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and a giddy up. Secure the bag, yeah, I get the bus. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. I've been on the flex since flex zone. Neighborhood all in your eardrums. I ain't never scared like Bone Crush. Boy, I got God, don't fear none. My line busy, take no calls. Feels like I don't have no flaws. Snakes in the grass, cut those off. Yo, squad shitty, my bros rock.
Welcome back to halftime here at Taft Stadium. Let's tell you about Brahms. They've been serving delicious cheeseburgers made with 100% pure beef patties, along with their signature limeades and crinkle-cut fries. real hand-dipped ice cream, thick milkshakes, old-fashioned banana splits, and sundaes all made with their farm fresh milk. Brahms Farm Fresh, for over 50 years, a proud partner of the OKC Energy FC. Fans taking in the experience of a Sunday afternoon game. The best way I can describe the dish with Devin Kerr would be, it's about as good as Brahms.
32 games in a season. This is week 22, which means it's starting to heat up. The final quarter pole as we round the back stretch. Charleston Battery, the only team to make the playoffs every year in its modern inception. That's 2011, and you go back, they are trailing in that race, and they are trailing here, 1-0. Sergeant Goma, 16 years old, great goal. Jake LaCava, 11 goals in 39 appearances. When you score 33% of the time, I'm no math major, but that sounds pretty good to me. 2-0 Red Bull, but there's some fight left in. The battling Anhausers on the back post, Bunting. What a great story he is. Charleston native, USC upstate, now Battery. I think that's what they call homegrown cooking, and it's 2-1. But then Jeremy Raffanello, big Penn State guy over here. We are up 3-1, Red Bull 2. Leland Archer hits this with fury into the back of the net. What do I always say? Too little, too late. Charleston Battery 10 points behind in the Atlantic Division. Game in hand, though. Keep an eye out. An important one. Charlotte Independence are not dark horses. They are not sleepers. They are good if they can stay healthy and they can rotate and score goals like this. Gabriel Oberton, Manchester United, Newcastle United, Charlotte Independence. That all makes sense to me. 1-2-3, USL Championship, Second Division United States, doing what he does. Up 1-0. This is one of the best goals you're going to see all week. It's just in the wrong net. My apologies, Palacios. My apologies, Miami. My kudos, Charlotte Independence. 3 points, that's 4 in a row. They are now in 4th place in the Atlantic Division, closing in on Miami. They control their destiny for 3rd. Austin FC. Oh, all my Austin fans, we know what's going on in this game, right? El Paso Locomotive. Pino. Stefano Pino. First goal of the season. What a great time for that to occur against one of the best, possibly the best, maybe not the best, could be the best. We'll see how this ends out. El Paso Locomotive. Oh, Diego Luna. He's ahead of schedule. 18 years of age. 6 goals, 4 assists, and 22 appearances. Again, no math major, but those numbers add up. And this team just has a fight within them. Josue Aron puts them up 2-1, but so does Austin. Guadarrama in his return. The boys in black are back. 2-2. They maintain the 4th spot in the Mountain Division. Dear Lord, what is going on in the USL Championship? Johnny Rodriguez, as I say, apologies necessary. What a bite this is. Gets him out in front. San Diego Loyal goes down 1-0. If they're losing, that means Oakland is winning, and Oakland is fighting for that final spot within the Pacific Division. No one told Colin Martin that he wasn't supposed to score goals like this. I actually think this goal is better. You may think I'm crazy. Watch this thing skip up off the deck, outside of the foot, upper corner, calls his shot, hits it out of the park, sits down, apologizes, has a meal, a cup of tea, and then this happens. Yeah, that's a penalty. Can't do it. Score on one end, give it up on the other. Jose Hernandez, 63rd minute. Oakland Roots get it to 2-1. They do sit in the 4th spot in the Pacific Division. Week 22. What could be in week 23? We'll see you out there.
Turns out we've had plenty in store here in week 23, and it's not quite over yet. Halftime between Oklahoma City and Indy. We'll take a look at news and notes from around the league, first half highlights, and more after these messages.
Today, as you step onto the field, as you defend and attack, as you move swift, quick, like you were made for this, know that you do not do so alone. With each step, you run with all of the women before you and all of the women that will come after you. A stampede of mujeres blazing a trail on fire. Time cannot catch you. Para ti no existen los límites. You come from women that transformed pain into victory. Women that accepted impossible as a challenge. A challenge is brought to you and you do not turn away. Your journey today awaits you and you do not step down. You step into your purpose. You step strong. Con toda la fuerza de mujer. You step up.
I am a first-generation student here at Bellevue University. I feel like if I were to have gone to a different university, my experience would have been a lot more like stressful and overwhelming, because I feel like I wouldn't have gotten that personal experience that Bellevue University has to offer.
Tees it up, what a strike, and what a goal! Hartford has a goal! His right-footed shot, and it's in! Knocked away. Looking for Para, could fall for an opportunity here, the shot comes in! Oh, it's brilliant!
Welcome back. Halftime presented in part by Love's. OKC Energy FC 1, Indy 11-0 here at the break. And there's some folks checking out the ESPN app. You know how it is. One app, one tap. USL Super League will launch in 2023. It was just announced this week that Indy 11 will have a W League team. That launches next year. They call it a tangible step towards representation in the women's game. The USL going all the way with a pro second division league. USLsoccer.com for more details. Michi Galina going out right before the roster freeze. Raised an eyebrow or two.
It's a great opportunity for him. He's been terrific this year, and he gets the opportunity to see what he does with it. And it's a really good, I think it's a very good fit for the LAFC squad. He's just such a dynamic player.
Agreed. In Tampa Bay, look to Sebastian Guinzotti again in the Atlantic Division. And get this, he's got a brace in 3 games running. Maybe Haji Berry's Golden Boot lead record, maybe it's not so easy after all. Let's take a look at the scoreboard around the USL Championship. These games from yesterday and today all at full time. Galaxy finishes off Sacramento. That's a big knell to Sacramento's playoff hopes. Birmingham beats Charlotte. Central wins one over an Atlantic foe. That could very well be a playoff matchup moving forward. And in the Central, Memphis and Louisville both drop points. So Birmingham within a point of Louisville, and Memphis doesn't pull away from the pack. It means OKC would hold fourth on their own today with a win.
And there's just so much going on here. That Memphis-Louisville game is tremendous. It's just so important here. And this game makes it so much more important for this OKC Energy to win at home. And you know this Indy 11 squad, they want to get back into it, and it's the perfect time to steal points on the road.
Here's the upcoming schedule. It is brought to you by Love's. Monarchs and Red Bulls are tonight, but also on Wednesday there's other games. OKC and Indy will do this all again. As a player, what's that even like?
I can't tell you. I've never had that in my career, but it's gonna be a chess match. You know, these players are feeling each other out today, and then a couple of days they do it again. So, you know, there's a little bit of competitiveness there, so I'm excited for that one.
And Monarchs will take on El Paso, who are trying to wrap up the Mountain Division #1 spot. Halftime presented in part by Love's continues after a word from these sponsors. OKC 1, Indy 0 at the break.
United Turf and Track is proud to be a partner and the official sports field service provider for the Energy FC practice facility and training grounds. United Turf and Track is a turnkey sports field construction, installation, renovation, and consulting company for natural grass and synthetic turf field systems. With over 50 years of combined experience in sports field construction and service management, United Turf and Track is the only certified field builder in Oklahoma and Arkansas. Contact us today for your next field construction or renovation project.
To the IT professionals, enabling companies across the country to work from home and making business as usual out of unusual circumstances. This new way of working doesn't work without you. Your company is counting on you, and you can count on Cox Business Cloud Solutions. So keep collaborating, keep adapting. We'll keep your data safe and accessible through it all.
from your mosquito problem? Let Mosquito Joe handle it. Mosquito Joe, outside is fun again.
Welcome to Love's. Here, technology drives us. That's why we research technology advancements in our own labs. It's why we're constantly developing new tools to improve the ways you move. Ways that lead to safer, more efficient travel. Here at Love's, we believe that technology drives us all forward. Love's, working to bring innovation to the highway.
Back here in Oklahoma City, off to the sideline seats after picking up your halftime refreshments. Mike and Ricky back with you. Panera Bread presents the halftime highlights. And, okay, there goes Ellis Hayden. He sprints about a third of the field, and then Bijev's going to sprint about a third of the field, and then Chavez is going to score by running about a third of the field.
And it's just so easy. It's 2 passes, and you're in your attacking half, and the ball's in the back of the net. It's just far too easy for this Indy 11 squad. And if you're OKC, you're not going to ask any questions. You're going to take it, and it's a finishers. It's a tremendous goal for the confidence of this team and the confidence of Chavez.
Chavez, second of the year, 5th of the last 2 seasons combined, and the leading man for OKC helps the OKC side lead. He almost had another one. Best save by Edwards, best save by either keeper.
And again, you can see he's confident. He wants the ball, and that's a tremendous turn, and it's a well-struck ball, but then Edwards does well to just parry it away.
Halftime stats are presented by Brahms. Of course, 1-0 is the key, but 60% possession as well for OKC here at halftime. It is that bright out here. It is a beautiful night to play. OKC and Indy are headed into the second half in the first of 2 games in 4 days' time. That'll have a lot to say about how the Central Division shakes out. OKC and Indy 11 sitting within 3 points of one another. 2 other teams can make that distinction as well coming into the night. That's an early whistle. Kevin Broadley, the referee in this game. Osmond, Doyle, Edwards. Taken away and lean back to Basulovic. And now Ward. What needs to change for Indy 11 in the second half?
Just far too casual. It's just far too easy in that first half. You see a prime example there a couple minutes ago. Kofi's trying to do a little flick in the middle of the park and has a bad giveaway. You want to be more intense. You want to be more intentional with your movements, with your passes. Move the ball quicker. And I'm sure Coach Rogers got into his boys at halftime and see if they make a change here.
For Coach Wiedemann for OKC Energy, you have the lead, but are you satisfied?
No, you want more. You want to put this game to bed as early as you can. See if you can find another goal in this first 10 minutes and get the wins out of this Indy 11 squad.
Bit overzealous from Kurimoto. Wild to pull the strings. Tiaga dipping in, trying to get a more concrete hold of the ball. Bijev had to leap up. Kurimoto trying to hold up play, did a little bit more than that. Broke down from Moon. He was the only substitution in the first half. He came on for Reese Buckmaster, who left injured in the first 45.
And I think he was good in that, in the part he played in that first half. He was active. He had a purpose. You can see he wanted to get to that end line and put dangerous balls in. They didn't quite come off all the time, but that's something you want to see, and hopefully that energy trickles through the team to have more direct in their intention in their play in the second half.
Rolled up further by Ellis Hayden, who's overlapping wide. Bijev laces this right at Edwards.
And it's a good, confident move from Bijev. Unlucky enough not to hit it as well as he wanted to trouble Edwards more, but again, you can tell he's moving into the game, getting more involved. That's something you want from a Coach Friedman's side.
Gudjar. Segrist. Law. Time at Sheffield United coming up. Native of Plymouth in England. Went into Scotland, English League Two as well. That'll soar out of play with OKC here. Energy FC is excited to welcome the Lincoln at Central Park Apartments, is a proud partner of the club, the official home of Energy FC players. The Lincoln at Central Park Apartment Homes is the epitome of luxury apartment living in Oklahoma City. For more information, please call 405-759-5583. Mention promo code "This Is Our City" for special discounts. Edwards, the can of corn, or can of beans as it may be. Law.
And it just breaks down for this Indy 11's team time and time again. You want Law to be able to have that composure, to put his foot on the ball, pick his head up, and find the feet of a player. You want to get Arteaga more. He's been so quiet in this match, and that's not what you want. You feed on confidence as a striker, so you need to get him the ball.
Ellis Hayden tosses in. Free kick won by OKC. That's Chavez. Oklahoma City was struggling at the outset of this season. Started 0-5-3 and really started to turn things around. They felt June the 2nd. It wasn't a win. It was a 1-1 draw at Indy. Energy FC felt like they began to see the tide turn. They went on a pretty notable run from there, including 4 wins from 7 games that got them back into the general playoff mix. They've large in part carried that forward. Oklahoma City coming off a 1-1 draw with Birmingham. This will tee up nicely, and Edwards confidently holds on as Basulovic lacing that, and Chavez was right on the doorstep, hunting rebounds.
But it's better from this OKC side to have the interchange on top of the box. Basulovic doesn't get a hold of it like you would want. But again, you see Ward coming more involved. Basulovic is popping up in good opportunities.
Arteaga, this will jump into the wide area. Segrist. Throw for Indy. Osmondfield's a bit hard done. Law. Corner. Wild. Swinging in a good ball. All the way beyond Timmer. Another corner to come. This actually got out at the touchline, beg your pardon. Law, handoff to Segrist. Gutyar. It's bailed out a bit. There's the service. Segrist comes out to the other side. Wild. Had some really bright moments at Atlanta. This is snared by Cochran, and for OKC, this is going to be a good moment to catch their breath.
Yeah, you want them to kind of settle down, play themselves back into this game. It's 10 minutes in, and in the last 5 minutes, it seems like they've been under distress. So you want players like Ward, Curry-Motor to play players in and relax the tempo and dictate the game.
Good touch out of pressure here. OKC's had a solid but not fantastic defense so far. They've held Indy largely in check on the night. Would they be able to make 1-0 stand in the first of a quote-unquote two-game series? That's dangerous from Cochran, but he got the job done, and the crowd roars in approval for that.
Dangerous but confident. You love to see that from your goalkeeper, to have the confidence to just read the play and do a defensive job.
Hey, Energy FC wants to thank Tropical Smoothie Cafe for helping feed our players and for being a proud partner of Energy FC. You can check out one of their 15 Oklahoma City metro locations or visit order.tropicalsmoothiecafe.com to get your smoothies delivered. Wind picking up a little bit. It'll blow directly into Cochran's face, right to left down the field in the second half. Bijev. Segrist doesn't intervene. Ellis Hayden is running unimpeded. Ellis Hayden. That's a nice switch.
It's a really good ball to change the point of attack and to shift this in the 11 side.
Doesn't end up paying off, does it?
And again, it's just a bad, careless turnover in their defensive half from Indy 11. You do not want to give this OKC Energy any opportunity to attack.
Kurimoto sneaks by, scooped ahead. Ward lobbing that further. Back to Donovan. Three-game homestand here starting for OKC tonight. Trying to get off on the right foot. They'll play Wednesday against Indy and then host San Antonio. A lot of the Central and the Mountain have been tied together this year with the interconference play. San Antonio's a tough draw at this stage. We'll go away to Austin, which is no easier. Bijev off the turnover. Bijev muscled from behind. He's going to continue. Bijev lining this right at Edwards. You get the feeling Bijev wanted the free kick.
Yeah, I thought he was going to go down, but he elects to stay up. And in the end, I think it's the wrong decision to go to goal at that angle. You have Vasiljevic joining the attack late. I know it's asking a lot to have it to pick up his head in that instance, but a player like Bijev can find that pass.
Room to shoot. Bouncing outside the post. Finally, Indy 11 puts something closer to Cochran. Stoppage here that'll see Oklahoma City dip into their bench. It's going to be Vasiljevic coming off. Aiden Daniels comes on. Vasiljevic replaced Daniels in the starting 11 this afternoon. Goes 60 minutes. Wouldn't, I think, be all that surprising if we saw essentially a reverse of that on Wednesday. And then Tucker Stevenson's going to come on as well.
Leading the match, number 28,
Declan Wynn, the outside back, comes off. Subs are brought to you by SSM Health St. Anthony.
And I thought Vasiljevic grew into the game as it kept going on. He was getting on the ball more often, was confident, was having a good relationship between him, Chavez, Bijev. So he had a good shift, and you know he's going to be ready again and full of confidence on Wednesday to go against this Indy 11 team.
Timmer. Gutyar. Batista upended.
And it's good work here from Batista to not elude a couple challenges and to win a free kick. He's had a strong, solid game so far, and he's been a staple, and he's been very confident in this back line for the OKC.
Edwards rolls over.
And again, it's just too stagnant for Indy 11. There's not any movement in the middle of the park. There's not movement up top. And it results in a turnover that goes back to Cochran. You want the players in the middle of the field, whether it's Law, Gutyar, Kofi, to get on the ball, to pull the strings, dictate the tempo that has been lacking in the second half from Indy 11. It's just too stagnant, and OKC is gladly sitting off and letting Indy 11 play balls into their back line.
Arteaga on the run. So stoppage. Should see Indy 11 make a change, and they will. Aiden Liu, the 21-year-old center back from Chicago, replaces Jeremiah Gutyar.
Replacing him, number 16, Aiden Liu.
Good to see Aiden Liu make it onto the field for this. First appearance for Indy 11 after being left on the bench 8 times. He was signed while Martin Rennie was still leading up the side, and Max Rogers was an assistant coach coming off 2.5 years in Denmark.
And look for him to have a positive impact, to get involved, to play players in. When you're a substitute, that's what you want to do. You come on for a reason, to give something that the game was lacking. So look for Liu to have an impact here.
Segrist and Ellis Hayden get tangled up. Energy FC is proud to welcome Social Capital as the official watch party location for the 2021 season. Bring your family and watch every Energy FC away match at the #1 rated craft beer bar in Oklahoma by Forbes magazine and craftbeer.com. Social Capital boasts 120 independent craft beers on tap, variety of cocktails and wine, a full menu of street tacos and more, with Oklahoma City's largest rooftop patio. Ball ahead. OKC could have gotten the second. It skips off the crossbar. That would have been massive from Daniels. Instead, Indy still breathes.
And it's a really big missed opportunities here from Daniels. But what a run that is from him, just from inside out. And you know he's going to be a bit disappointed with himself to not put that in the back of the net. It's a weird ball, how it hops off the turf. But with a player like the quality of Daniels, you know he wants to put that in the back of the net. Again, this Indy 11 squad is getting beaten behind far too easy.
Daniels spent last year in Colorado Springs under Alan Koch, who left after the season, replaced by Brendan Burke. But before that, Daniels spending a year in Ottawa and 3 more with TFC2. Signed a homegrown deal in Toronto. Never really got the run of games probably deserved in Toronto, just given the amount of depth they had at the time. Karam's back here to Aiden Daniels. Here come Energy FC. Ball slipped ahead once more. Well, Edwards off his line. That ball will not count as it crosses the line. The offside flag had already gone up.
And Daniels does well to break through a couple tackles, but then there's just so much space in front of him to be able to pick up his head and find that pass to Chavez. Again, there's just so much gaps in this Indy 11 defensive unit that they need to clean up.
Well, it's one thing to say they need to do it today. It's another thing they need to do it by Wednesday when these teams play again. The season is down to its final month. Only one more game in September. It's between these two teams. And October's tenor is going to be based large in part on how these two go. That's Ellis Hayden going over the top. And a stoppage here, and the athletic trainer runs out water. Hydration break here in Oklahoma City. I know this is something that both Ricky and I can agree on. OKC Energy fans, visit any of the 9 Oklahoma City area Panera Bread locations for our creamy mac and cheese or the classic bacon turkey bravo. Try the new Chipotle chicken and bacon flatbread pizza, or everyone's seasonal favorite, including both Ricky's and mine, the strawberry poppy seed salad. These and other favorites sure to have you cheering Order online, PaneraBread.com, for pickup or delivery right to you. Your favorites only at Panera.
I know where I'm going to dinner tonight.
Is it about the strawberry or is it about the dressing? For me, it's about the dressing, which probably negates the salad.
I mean, it's so good, everything. I've never had a complaint of Panera. The turkey Bravo, fire.
All right, sounds like we're doing a pick two. I know how this goes. There are people somewhere going, we get it, okay? It's you're stepping in with a partner. Not true. Not true. Genuinely, we're on board with this. Chavez comes off under his own power. He's got a real pained look on his face. Every step leads to another grimace. All right, 20 minutes to go. Both coaches, really valuable moment to try and tactically figure out how you close out the game. Chance for the players to get that valuable extra minute of rest. Kofi's gone in here, and he's shown a yellow card. Bijev, victim of 4 or 5 fouls thus far today.
And he's been on the worst end of quite a few challenges that have caught him in different areas of his body. But he seems to be okay, and it's a play that you know he wants to get on the score sheet for his own and find that final pass. He's just such a special player for this OKC Energy squad. He can finish, he can find passes. He dictates the play, and he's just very smart in his movement where he pops up on the field, and it's a defender's nightmare to play against a player like Bijev.
He's gotten 34 touches of the ball in this game. He's been fouled 4 times. Ellis Hayden 3, Batista 3 as well. So these guys have taken a little bit of a whack today, and Arteaga, to be fair, fouled 3 times the other way. 72nd minute, Stevenson. Good on the referee for ultimately letting this play out, because Aiden Liu goes in, and you could stop play here, but everyone's aware of what's going on. Aiden Liu listed as a defender, but played as a target forward for Soccer's Academy in Chicago. So we're seeing him play a little bit higher, perhaps, than the roster would have made you think in his debut game for Indy 11.
And I think it's a tactical change from Rogers to put him up there and have him battle like to like with the likes of Donovan and Osmond, to put a body on them. And that opens up space in front of them for Gordon Wild, Arteaga. They've been lacking in their involvement in the second half. You need those two to get going if you want a chance to steal points on this road.
Want to steal 1 today, maybe more over the course of these 2 games. At minimum, they don't want to see the situation get away from them. Bijev. Oh, this will narrowly get over everybody. There's a minimal touch from Liam Doyle. It's a throw for Oklahoma City.
Shaky defending there from Indy 11. You want to put that ball in the stands. Do not let any ball bounce across your box.
Doyle bodied up. Bijev. Strong foot in. Ellis Hayden, Segrist. Ellis Hayden glides by, swings, beautiful service. It's too high for Bijev. continues here for OKC.
And Ellis Hayden has been active here. He's had a tremendous game. Wow.
Bijev puts this up. OKC puts this in. You can tell what it means to the Oklahoma City bench. A shot in the arm for their season. Points they simply had to have.
And it just starts with this darting run from Daniels, but you cannot teach that from Bijev. To have the awareness, the skill, the technique to pull this off and put this ball on a platter, and let me tell you, that is not an easy finish there from Daniels with the likes of Edwards coming to him. He's been active since coming on. He had a good opportunity a couple minutes ago, didn't find the back of the net, but he made no mistake there. And again, Bijev is an assister. What a goal that is for the OKC Energy. In this time, when they need 3 points, you're at home. Tremendous so far.
That goal brought to you by Loves. It's in the 74th into the 75th minute. Daniels' third of the year. For Bijev, his 5th assist. Beg your pardon, he had 4 coming in. He's got 2 today, 6 assists to go with 11 goals for Villian Bijev. Subs here for Indy 11 as they try and chase the game now late. Whatever damage is done today, they can theoretically undo, but they'll be that much closer to the end of the road. Best they can do on this road swing is go punch for punch. They're unable to take anything today against OKC. OKC can also win the season series, which is the first tiebreaker in the postseason this year, which could come in real handy late. Ayoze comes on. Gordon Wild off. Kofi was also replaced by Sissoko at the stop. And that's the 4th and final sub, given that all 3 windows have been used now by Indy.
And when you have a player like Ayoze that can come off the bench with the class that he brings, so look for him to again get Arteaga, who's been extremely quiet and has a tough day so far. Get him involved, get the likes of Moon running in behind. We see Arteaga here.
Arteaga's not going to be able to catch up. Bijev. Bijev sure thought he kept that in. He didn't. First Fidelity Bank is proud to be an OKC Energy FC founding sponsor. Our 20 OKC Metro locations make banking convenient for you, especially when combined with our free worldwide ATMs, mobile banking, and mobile deposit. First Fidelity Bank. We go where you go. Visit ffb.com today. Time is of the essence here for Indy 11. Both these teams have really had to climb out of the basement. But in this division, the difference between 6th place and 4th place is so minimal. Well, it seems Tulsa's pulled away. They've done it with a run of about 5 games that just about any other team could potentially have down the stretch. Bijev. It's not just a one-trick pony.
doing everything today. He's had a tremendous match. 2 assists, and I don't think he's done yet. I think he's gonna have another involvement, whether it's a goal or another assist.
Jose working centrally. Segrist floats. Header back. Law! This is a corner. Cochran soared into the air. Watch out for Nick Law.
And this takes tremendous technique, tremendous focus to have the audacity to pull up from a volley at top of the box. And yet it's an unbelievable save from Cochran to keep his clean sheet intact.
Ball wound in front. That is a high boot that keeps it off the head of Aiden Liu. Well, this could easily be a 1-goal game. They've said Nick Law's career speaks for itself, but if you score goals like that, it does a lot of talking too.
And these last 10 minutes are extremely important for this OKC back line. As we've seen in the last couple minutes, Indy 11's going to start putting numbers into the box, start serving balls in dangerous areas because they need a goal. They need to start taking the game to OKC. So look for the likes of Donovan Osman in that middle of the back four to be organized, to have good communication, and not give up a silly goal in this last 10 minutes.
Taken by Bijev. We'll rotate this out to Ellis Hayden. The world of time and space. Cross field from Charlie Ward. Bijev. Bijev and Ward, see their passing percentages zoom to the roof. Now Bijev able to keep this alive, and this shot rifled at Edwards from Daniels. He's come off the bench and give it a real spark for Oklahoma City.
And he's been very active and confident. And it's really impressive how quick he's able to find space for himself and get this shot off. He's had a tremendous impact since coming off the bench.
Brad Dunwell, Kodai Ida waiting to come in for Oklahoma City. They may well get their chance to do so here on this ensuing Oklahoma City goal kick. Chavez will come off. He got the goal in the 30th minute. A wonderful team goal for Oklahoma City. Subs are brought to you by SSM Health St. Anthony. Also the end for Charlie Ward.
And I thought Chavez had a very good shift today. He was active. He was making runs in behind. Of course, the goal helps his confidence moving forward. If you get that man scoring goals at the rate we know he can, with the quality that he brings, this OKC side is going to be scary once playoff time comes around. And I thought Ward had a very good and impactful match again. He was dictating the tempos. He was getting into tackles, being that anchor in the middle of the field. So look for Brad Dunwell to get involved early and have a good impact and be a security blanket for this OKC squad.
You see a little bit of the camaraderie on the bench between these OKC players. The grin, the big toothy smiles as he made his way down the bench and over to his well-deserved seat at the end of this one. Case award.
Keep it one side, Beach.
Sissoko levied through, and would have been something Lou could have done something with. you're Indy, how quickly can you get Toby Adewale in, Manu Ledesma, Kevin Partita? Attack is on for OKC. A third would be a nail in the coffin. With a deflection, rolls over. That was not kept in by Ida. But it's a corner. And if you're OKC, maybe all the better.
And again, it's Daniels being able to break through and have acres of space. I think he makes the wrong decision. He could have found Ida on this right-hand side. Elects to shoot. But again, it's another positive impact from Daniels to get running at this Indy back line.
Ida coming off the bench for the 8th time this year, the 26-year-old from the Ishikawa Prefecture in Japan. It's a Little Caesars corner kick for Tucker Stevenson. Stevenson headers away, soars up. Whistle gone amok.
I don't think there's anything in there for me. I think Lamar Batista's just standing his ground.
I understand every time you get in the penalty area and there's contact, there's that twinge. Makes you think there must be something one way or the other, but. Five minutes stoppage time, plenty of time here for Indy to try and grab a point here away. It would significantly buoy their hopes. But right now it's been OKC's day. On the cusp of one of their biggest wins of the season. This is one of the days where their backs were very much up against the wall. One of broadcasting's great cliches is the idea of a 6-point game. When it comes to these two teams, you could argue it was a 12-point week. They'll lie ahead. Right now it's OKC that should be on the front foot to make the most of it.
And it's going to be really interesting to see the changes that are made going into Wednesday from both of these teams.
You're calling Wednesday's game too, right?
I am. I'm excited to see what Coach Wiedemann does, Coach Rogers, and how the players react. When you have such familiar faces that you see days apart, the competitor inside you is going to come out. You do not want to lose if you're in the 11 again to OKC. And if you're OKC, you want to keep pushing that envelope and going into playoffs on a high note. So it's going to be a terrific match on Wednesday.
If you think about the idea of 4 games in a year, it's not entirely unheard of. And even from time to time, due to odd scheduling issues in various sports, you'll see that home and home or back-to-back games in a certain locale. It's just sort of the way the schedule goes. That July 10th game that was 1-1 out of halftime, where the power went out in Oklahoma City. Trey runs social media for Indy 11, actually flipped his light switch on and off on Twitter to signify he had working lights. At least I believe he was the admin in that moment. It's a good run by Segrist. Segrist able to keep this ball moving. Oklahoma City clears adequately, but it's because of that scenario that the game on Wednesday is happening at all, as opposed to being completed back on July the 10th. The game will be started from the beginning. Just when you thought you were about to get paid a full game's wage just to work 35 minutes. Not so fast.
Not too narrow! Donnie, not too narrow! We're getting too narrow!
Jose. Ball brought in, and no, Moon can't win a penalty. Referee throws his hand out. Moon remains down. Diving header keeps this away from goal still. There are 4 bodies down, and none of them are Moon. He's gotten back up. 2 significant collisions here in the final minute that I promise you won't be forgotten on Wednesday by either team.
Way too narrow and shift, yeah. Make sure we've got good spacing. Get it set up in front of you.
Daniels is good to get up. Here's Ida and Iose. And Segrist.
Yeah, just 2 hard challenges. I don't think there's any ill will from any players on any team. Just trying to win the ball, and hopefully everyone's okay and able to continue in this game.
I will say one thing I've heard from coaches in the past, and it really came to a head last year in that condensed schedule, playing so many games in your division. Coaches would say you almost forget when you play a team back-to-back where the last game ended and the next game began. And so some of those challenges where, okay, it's a little chippy, you're trying to create a chance late, sometimes you just start on Wednesday night that way.
Exactly. And especially when you have so much at stake going on into Wednesday, I'm expecting a tremendous hard-fought match on Wednesday.
Stoppage time is brought to you by SSM Health St. Anthony. SSM Health St. Anthony is ready for you, ready for the game, for the team, for the community. At a moment's notice, without hesitation, we are ready, and we're proud to be the Energy FC healthcare partner. At least another 4 minutes. Jose wants to get back into this game. Sunday is waiting to potentially enter for OKC. Two and a half minutes here. Another collision. There's a yellow card here to Kurimoto.
Referees issued a yellow card to OKC Energy FC's number 8, Kurimoto. In the 9-yard
Kurimoto gets the yellow card and instantly leaves leaves the field, it appears.
Energy FC substitution in the 90th minute. Leading the match, number 22.
He'll stay rather. It's Sunday coming in. Couple of fresh knees, fresh legs here for OKC down the stretch, and Ellis Hayden has done the job. Subs are brought to you by SSM Health St. Anthony.
And I think Ellis Hayden had a tremendous game, so he was confident in the attack, was locked down this right side in defense. He has to be proud. He was tremendous today, and he was the one who started that intrepid first goal for OKC.
Cleared. And the run out is on. Yellow card issued with a foul in a transitional moment. That was Sissoko. Indeed, his second yellow. Ida.
Position yellow card to Indy number 85, Sissoko.
Done well. That's Law bowling over Ida. Probably another minute in this, given a couple of cards and the substitutions here in extra time.
And it's just frustration from Law. Been an extremely frustrating and difficult day for not only him, but this Indy 11 squad, so he just decides to take out Ida.
Referees glanced at the watch for the first time. Ida. Bijev is going to go the distance tonight. He's involved in helping to keep that momentarily. You never know where goal difference could come into play. Maybe a goal here. Maybe there's enough time for them to get the ball back one more time. Either way, there is an element of making a statement here for Indy in the dying minutes. Sunday trudges down the line. And that is the full-time whistle. A true 6-point game. OKC won it all three, and they get them here at home. First of 2 meetings in 4 days between OKC and Indy. Two sides right next to one another at the playoff line sees OKC move into 4th in the Central Division.
And it's a huge match for this team. And yes, of course, who else? Bijev, the player of the match. He was tremendous, 2 assists, and you know big players stand up in big games, and he was great tonight. The big 3 points for this OKC Energy team. And if you're Indy 11, you need to go back to the drawing board and be better for Wednesday.
Man of the match brought to you by Mid-First Bank. And Bijev helps OKC pick up one of their bigger wins of the season. Just over a month to go. We'll wrap this one up with a look at highlights and a look ahead. OKC 2, Indy 0 at full time.
Success is achieved through hard work, and many business owners work tirelessly for years to realize the dream of franchising their business. FFB partners with companies of all sizes every day and offers an extensive variety of treasury services. FFB will outline a plan just for you, help you streamline cash flow, and monitor your business transactions. Because we know you've got better things to do, like grow your business. FFB, we go where you go.
Real commitment doesn't stumble. It doesn't hesitate. It's ready at a moment's notice, on the sidelines and in the stands. It leans in and gets loud. We're ready for you, for our club, for our city, for whatever comes next. We're SSM Health St. Anthony, and we're proud to be the official healthcare partners of the OKC Energy FC.
Welcome to Loves. Here, technology drives us. That's why we research technology advancements in our own labs. It's why we're constantly developing new tools to improve the ways you move. Ways that lead to safer, more efficient travel. Here at Loves, we believe that technology drives us all forward. Loves, working to bring innovation to the highway.
Celebration continues for OKC at Taft Stadium. Wednesday night, these teams will meet again, but for now, OKC 2, Indy 0, and OKC is in playoff position. Mike and Ricky back with you. Save the Game, presented by SSM Health St. Anthony. That's a laser beam from Law.
And it's a tremendous shot from Law, but it's an even better save from Cochran to keep that clean sheet intact. He didn't have much to do today, but he was tremendous when they asked questions of him.
All right, here are the full-time highlights brought to you by Panera Bread and that delicious strawberry poppy seed salad. It's It is a full-length field sprint that leads to Chavez in the 30th.
And Ellis Hayden was terrific today. But it's just so easy. It's literally 2 passes, the length of the field, and the ball's in the back of the net. If you're Indy 11, that is not good enough for this level. But OKC, you love to see those two linking up. Bijev, terrific. Chavez, need to get him going, and that's the way to do it. What a goal that is for not only him and his confidence, but a big 3 points for OKC Energy.
Second of the season for Chavez, much needed indeed. And skip ahead to the second half of play in Oklahoma City, getting into the final third. This is literal genius.
It is terrific. You can't say enough about Bijev, but Daniels, to continue his run, he was terrific since coming on. And that's not an easy finish from him, but it's all about this pass from Bijev. Just to have the audacity to flick it over and to put it on the foot of Daniels, it was terrific. And you know how much it means for Wiedemann.
2 assists for Bijev. Here are the First Fidelity Bank full-time stats. And Chance Ricky, your final thoughts on this one before you get ready to call the game on Wednesday.
OKC Energy is going to be full of confidence. Again, you're at home. You need another big 3 points going into that. And if you're in the 11, you need to buckle down defensively. It was far too easy. Too many gaps in your defensive unit, and you need to get Arteaga more touches. Wild was a little bit too quiet. You need those two linking up and firing on all cylinders come Wednesday. So I'm expecting a good, hard, fat match, and I'm excited for it.
Memphis has 2 games in hand, now 2 points off the playoffs. OKC sits in 4th. Indy hangs in 7th, and they're only 5 points back, but time is beginning to dwindle. We hope you enjoyed spending your Sunday with us as OKC wins it 2-0. Chavez and Daniels the goal. And we'll see again on Wednesday night when these teams match up again. For Ricky Lopez-Espin and our entire Vista World League crew led by Dustin Curl, Juan Valenzuela, Mike Watts saying have a good night, folks.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.